I forgot his name like 5 times before I got started. Oh, I know it. Where is he at anyway? Yeah, I think he said he was.
Howdy! Okay, I'm going to talk to you about Family Track, but it's not just me, it's my lovely EAs as well, who are having a side conversation. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to let you know a little bit about Family Track. We've been talking about it, but we haven't actually given you all the details, so it's a little bit of a mystery right now. Alright, so the purpose for Family Track. So Family Track is the only program that we have specifically for the family members. So the purpose of Family Track is to give them a relaxing environment where they can ask questions and be comfortable, and they don't have their student like hitting them going, no, don't ask that question, no, don't talk. So that's pretty much what Family Track is. And also, they wouldn't get their questions answered if you weren't there. So OLs are a vital part of Family Track. How to Family Track. Alright, so like I said, it's the only program for family members, so it's your responsibility to make them feel special and to make them feel like all of their questions have been fully answered. There are some perks. It's the shortest evening program, so you show up at 6 and you get out by 8:30. You also get free food and free dessert because we have, yes, it's the best part. Because we have the dinner, but then we have a dessert social for the parents, so you just get to stuff yourself full of free food. See, I'm bribing you already, but it'll work, don't worry. All right, and so then day 1 of NSCs is when the Family Track takes place. So it's the evening of day 1, but the reason it says Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is because if you've looked at your calendar, you'll notice that we stuffed 3 conferences into 1 week. And it's located in the ballroom. This is just a friendly reminder that you will be eating dinner with the family members, so you should eat politely. And you should have etiquette. And you should not stuff your face to where you cannot eat with your mouth closed, and you shouldn't speak with food in your mouth. You shouldn't have your phone out. Just anything you wouldn't do in front of your fussy grandma or your boss or someone else you were trying to impress, like your significant other. Just don't do that in front of the family members either. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, in the back you can hear me? Okay, so there's different responsibilities at Family Track. The first one are transition OLs. And so what you're going to do is lead the family members from Rudder Theater, from Ask an Aggie, to dinner via the Sky Bridge between the Memorial Student Center and Rudder. And then we have 2 greeters, and they're going to count the family members and help the host OLs, which I'll explain in a second. And then we have the minglers, which will do line control for dinner, and also mingle with the family members while they're in line to give them something to do while they're waiting. And then we have host OLs, which you're going to seat family members in their assigned section, in your assigned section, and Courtney will explain all of that in a second. And then we have table OLs, and so everybody turns into a table OL during the first half of dinner, and so you're going to be sitting with the family members and talking to them in your respective sections, and then everyone that is not participating in the interactive social for the second half of dinner is also a table. And so voluntold extra roles for the interactive social. This is in addition to being a table OL. You can be a scenario OL or a mic OL. So the scenario OLs read scenarios at dinner, and they facilitate discussion between the family members and the crowd, or the family member crowd. And so, mic OLs, what you're going to do is when a family member wants to answer, you're going to take a microphone to them so they can be heard by everybody. And so just an example of scenarios, last year we would have OLs get up and talk about how those scenarios are going to be pre-written, so if they don't exactly pertain to you, it's okay. This is for the family members. But last year we had a scenario where an OL would get up and say that they waited too late to study, so they crammed for a test, and then they didn't do so well on that test. Well, then they actually
since they crammed for the other one, they ended up having to cram for the next one because they weren't prepared, so they didn't do so well on the second test. So it's just kind of their academic struggle. And so it was their responsibility to get up and talk about an academic struggle, and then it was the Mike OL's responsibility to go give a mic to any family member who wanted to comment on how they would have helped their student through that scenario. But you'll see how it goes at mock training. I know we're just throwing a bunch of stuff at you.
So family track starts at 6 p.m., or that's what time you need to get there. Attendance will be taken by us and responsibilities will be assigned. At 6:10, you'll set up the ballroom and set out reserved seating. Those are for the table OLs for dinner. And minglers will start mingling in line while the family members wait to get food. And the greeters count the attendees and help control flow. At 6:25, 2 transition OLs will be sent to go get the family members and bring them to dinner. And they become minglers once families get in line.
Okay, so what's going on when we just read that timeline is actually seating the family members. And so we seat the family members in a specific way, which we call host philosophy. I have never used a laser pointer before, so bear with me. Yes, there's a first time for everything, y'all. All right, and so if you look down at the bottom, you'll see these are our lovely greeters standing outside the door. And they're actually just making sure that the family members don't come in when they're not allowed to. So they are those signs at restaurants that say, please wait to be seated. That's their job. And then we'll have about 3 to 4 hosts on each side of the door, depending how many people participate in that family track. So you can imagine like 3 people over here, and 3 people over there, and 3 people over there, and so on. And what they're going to do is they're going to get a family together, and they're going to lead them to their assigned section. So if they were on this side of the door, they would be in section 1, and they would take the families over and seat them in section 1 as close to the stage as they can. And then the same with the people that are in section 2, they would take the families and seat them as close to the stage as they can in section 2. And so we're just trying to make sure that we fill the room as much as we can, and that we also fill the tables as much as we can. So it would be your responsibility to kind of keep a mental count of how many people you sat down, so you know if you get another big family, you need to start a new table, or if you get a small couple, then you can put the couple with the bigger family. A little bit of simple math, but I have faith in you, so it's okay. And then once we've had all the family members seated and everyone gets their meals, even the OLs who are not host OLs, you will have assigned sections. And so when you're ready to sit down, you will seat yourself in the section. So everyone who is a section 1 OL and any other mingler or transition OL who the EA said, you're in section 1, you actually go sit with the families that are in section 1, and you just look for a reserve sign. That's your seat. You just take the reserve sign off and sit down. And then when we go into dinner, everyone should be seated, and then when we switch for dessert, you will actually just get up and rotate within your section to any table that has not had an OL. So what should happen is that when everyone sits down first, they take the reserve sign off of their seat, and when we switch to dessert and you're ready to switch around, you need to stay within your section, but you look for any table that has a reserve sign still up, because that means that no one sat there. Does that make sense? So we're trying to make it to every table throughout the night.
So at 6:40 p.m., kind of backtracking, family dinner does begin, and that's when student panelists and parents will arrive. So the host will seat families together, and they will fill in the tables, of course, starting at the front and working their way to the back. All OLs will grab dinner, and they will actually sit at the table with the family members and, facilitate conversation. Remember, no food while you're talking. Just trying your best. You don't want to just fall off your mouth. Make sure that you eat politely and facilitate conversation. So during dinner, everyone is at table OL. So make sure that you're sitting at a table, as you should. So at 7:20, that's when like the dessert social starts. So basically then that'll be like your cue to get up, go get a dessert or a coffee if you need to, and then switch tables. Make sure to look for tables first where you see that there are still reserved placement cards sitting there. So make sure that you sit there first, and then you'll just be talking to the family members from then on until the end of the program. 7:45 p.m. is NSFP time. So of course, you should already be sitting at a table, hopefully by then.
And when NSFP gets up to talk, that's when the scenario OLs and the mic OLs will actually take a seat. And if you are a scenario OL or a mic OL, you will again look for a table that still has the reserve sign up so that you are meeting new family members.
And then at 8 p.m., Aggie Mom's program is going to come out, and she's going to come and give her presentation. And basically, there will be some kind of small interactions, but not really too much. So you just sit there and listen to the program and the presentation. You'll hear it over and over again, but act like it's the first time that you've ever heard it.
You'll know it word for word, but it's okay.
And then at 8:15, about 8:20, families are dismissed to go to their last program in Rudder Auditorium. So after they leave, you stay behind. You can't go with them, no matter how much some of them might want you to. So then around 8:30, you'll clean up and we'll take closing attendance and give final announcements. After that, you are free to go either home or you can go participate in yellow practice kind of mixing with the students.
All right, so one of the big things that you're responsible for in family track is small group facilitation. Because you are the OL, the family members are looking to you. It is your job to make sure that there is a discussion going at that table and that all the family members feel that they can ask you the questions that are on their mind. So we're going to play a little activity so that you can practice your small group facilitation. And also, while you are facilitating these tables, it requires mental agility and effective communication, which is exactly what goes in this activity. Okay.
So basically what you will end up doing is that I'm going to need everyone to make a group of 4. So look next to you, look behind you, kind of get those in your mind right now while I am finishing explaining it. So basically, here are your roles. We will have one OL, and basically you're going to be the OL sitting at the family member's table, kind of, sort of. And then we'll have one storyteller. This person will tell, their whole life story from beginning to end. Then you'll have another person. There'll be a yes and no question asker. So, asking yes and no questions. Oh, are you a sophomore? Yes. Are you a junior? No. Are you whatever? And then we'll have another, the fourth person will be a simple math question. So no Cal-3 differential equation. Very simple. 2 times 2. I probably put a cap on 20 because I know sometimes I can't count past 20. And then don't worry, everyone's going to get a chance to be one of the other roles. So everyone will be an OL. So we're not, just making one person be OL and being completely biased.
Okay, so you're going to get into groups of 4, and then you're going to let us know you're ready by being absolutely silent. All right? Ready, set, go. Find 3 other people. Yeah, you can grab.
Okay.
Find 3 people and be absolutely silent. Howdy, y'all. Everyone should be in groups of 4. Everyone should participate in this activity. And if you don't have a group of 4, please come to the front because we will make a group of 4. We need one person back here.
Shelby Fincher will join your group.
Howdy. Is anybody else still looking for a group? Oh, look, we're quiet now. That means we're ready. All right, so one person should be an OL. Have we all decided who's going to be the OL? Howdy. Okay, so one person needs to be an OL, and your job is to listen to the storyteller and to answer the questions at the same time. And then the yes-no questioner and the simple math questioner, you should also take turns. So don't ask questions at the same time and make your OL go crazy. Take turns asking questions while the storyteller keeps talking. Are we ready? Welcome to Family Track. So the whole reason for this activity is that pretty much happens. The family members are so excited to talk to you that they're telling stories, and then the other family member jumps in and goes, oh, you know, Johnny did that too. And they'll have their own side conversation, but they expect you to be included while you're talking to someone else. But yeah, we want everyone to experience the position of OL, so we're going to go ahead and switch again. I'll be an OL. All right, and then y'all can start when you're ready.